Hello and welcome to the Tech with Heart show. I am your host, Michelle Calloway. Tech with Heart, it's all about empowering and enlightening small business owners to embrace technologies and systems and strategies that will help them to be competitive and relevant as this digital world of business continues to move around and change. And so today's topic is, are PPC ads or pay-per-click ads right for your business, especially right now, right? We want to make sure that we're helping to set the stage for success for you as a small business owner. And so with me, I'm very excited about having my friend, William Reagan. He is a digital marketing specialist. He has a marketing agency, and he's very passionate and also very purpose-driven with why he does what he does. He works with small business owners to help them make sure that their marketing strategies are going to help them be successful. He's very ethical in everything that he does, and I really like that. He is a co-founder of a company called Kingdom Marketing. So if you want somebody that you know you can truly trust is going to make sure that they're not just taking your money, but setting you up for success and doing a lot of the marketing stuff that you probably should relinquish to somebody who really knows what they're doing, he might be a very good fit. I'm going to recommend him, but first he's going to talk a lot about why or when, if you should ever run PPC ads. So help me welcome to the Tech with Heart stage, William.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that introduction.
Absolutely. I love the fact too that you're very philanthropic. Your corporation is geared towards growing through that philanthropic. We just recently did an episode regarding that, and we'll probably have you share a little bit about that along the way. But you give percentages of all the service fees that you collect to, help a cause, like, a philanthropic cause. And I know that yours is, I think, Sacred Connections, and that's amazing. We'll talk a little bit about that, but you are just a really great person to have on our show because technology is a tool, but if you don't use it right, you could really damage your growth. Let's talk first and foremost about this pay-per-click thing. There's so many small business owners, right? They think that running ads is like the end all answer. But we know, you and I know, that that is not at all the case. So we're going to talk about that, right? I'm going to ask you, how can a small business owner identify or determine if running pay-per-clicks ads for their business is what they should do right now?
Yeah, a fantastic question that I believe all small business owners reconcile with eventually. They either don't know about pay-per-click and they get wind of it, and then they automatically assume that, oh, we need to do pay-per-click. And our philosophy here is marketing for the sake of marketing is a waste of dollars. And we believe that pay-per-click for the sake of pay-per-click is also within that category. It falls within the broader term of understanding a higher formed strategy based on brand, presence, messaging, and the communication of that messaging via that brand to your target audience. And there's a lot of nuances that come into play when we are designing what it is that is going to resonate, the gut feeling, if you will, with your perfect customer. The target audience has to take 10, 15 seconds, maybe at best, to look at whatever it is that you so desperately want them to see and that needs to resonate with a gut feeling with them. We fully believe that people buy from personalities at Kingdom Marketing, and that's part of like what we do before we even start diving into, is it PPC? Is it SEO? We have a lot of people just coming right into the door and being like, hey, we like y'all's mindset. Like, we're really big into like, we dig the spirituality and, the growth of the kingdom that y'all are doing. We want y'all to do our PPC ads. Well, my first question is, well, why? Why do you believe that PPC is right for you? Is it just because you were told that PPC is right for you? Do you believe that it has like a good ROI? Have you experimented with that yet? And so there's just a lot of nuances that really go into place with PPC, especially. I want to call that out kind of even over SEO because of the cost factor that is contributed to PPC. You can waste a tremendous amount of money very quickly if you don't understand some of these complex systems when it comes to proper key phrase wording and playing Google's analytic game properly. Just signing up for Google Analytics and a PPC account is not going to have a successful outcome. It's not. We need to start with a higher arching strategy when it comes to our persona, our identity of you. I think so many companies, unfortunately, don't even necessarily know who it is that they are. And that's not necessarily a dig at anyone. It's just that, as entrepreneurs, we step out of the boat and we make decisions. And before you know it, we have a company on our hands. and, and it's like, what am I supposed to do with this thing? It's becoming its own entity and it's becoming its own personality. We want to uncover what your personality is as the business owner, but also how that correlates and transitions into the personality of the business itself. Because, like we said, we believe that people buy from personalities. And when we can showcase your business personality, then and only then through that messaging do we know how to actually tailor the PPC ads and target them appropriately. Because we also need to know through that who's your hero, who's your villain. We want to make sure that we're getting in contact with these PPC ads with your hero. And we want to be able to address their miseries and miracles. We want to be able to call those things out in this short ad. And so it's so important because if you're also like advertising to your villain, well, that's a waste of a click. so
Yeah. Could you
yeah.
expand on that a little bit? Because first of all, I want to set the premise too, because a lot of small business owners that are going to be listening to this probably have never even dabbled. They have seen PPC, but that not necessarily fully understanding it. We're not going to break it down into all the different analytics, but I can say that when you go out into this wild west, basically the wild world of Google and their search engines, and using keywords, keyword phrases, the more you know exactly what kind of is unique to you and what people are searching that really kind of only you help with and not your competitors, because all it takes is for Google to serve your ad up as a potential connection to something people are searching for, and they click and cha-ching, Google gets paid, and then they go to wherever you're sending them to and they're like, oh, that's not at all what I was looking for. And so therefore you pay for them to just bounce within like a microsecond. And that is gonna cost. I've seen, and I know, William, you could share a scenario, please. Just share one story about how much money you've seen somebody basically lose because they didn't have the knowledge when they set up their pay-per-click ads, whether it was a Facebook ad or a Google ad. But basically, I know that you can spend about $10,000 even in one day, depending upon the keywords that you choose and the bid basically for that. Can you expand on that? Do you have, what have you personally experienced?
Yeah, absolutely. Depending on your industry that you're in, those clicks can be very costly. You'll find that industries are not made all the same when it comes to the words that you are allowing Google to identify with, and that's the word that you're bidding on. It can be very costly. And I have seen in the course, like you said, tens of thousands of dollars. I've seen in the course of about 3.5 months, around $35,000 spent in the wrong direction for your PPC campaigns. And the person that I know that did that was myself when I did my first entrepreneurial um, uh, um, venture when I owned a tutoring company at one time. I was new to everything and I didn't understand everything. I wasn't with the right people. And it was only until I actually got with a proper marketing agency that was well thought out with systems that we actually saw a return on our investment when it came to our PPC. But $35,000 out the window. and nothing to show for it. Like you said, we had a toll road and people were just riding on it for free in our
That's
website.
that just is the saddest thing because
It's
that
terrible.
35,000 that you do have in your bank account, I know most small business owners, that is gold and platinum. I mean, we cannot be wasteful here. So please hold off on PPC ads unless you are working with a professional. Please, please, please hear us. We're not saying no, don't do it. But like somebody like with William, he'll really challenge you to ask you the right questions that should be getting asked so that he can make sure that if you do go down that route, if that is the best call, that you're going to see some success. And I also just, one of my other mentors, I'm going to throw this out there real quick, is that if you're not able to sell what you need to sell organically, meaning no ads, then running ads isn't going to answer or solve the problem. So just right off the bat, know that you need to have something that people are already gravitating towards, and then you're just going to build on top of that momentum with ads. We're going to take it back and they're going to ask William to explain what this hero and this villain thing was all about. Please explain.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with your mentor more. Figure out the organic part first, please. And we can certainly craft that for you. And part of that crafting strategy is, understanding your customer persona properly. It's easy. Let's take an industry, for instance. Let's take a cybersecurity industry. And they know that they want to sell to CTOs and CIOs, chief technology officers, chief information officers. Okay, that's great. But who are they from a psychographic level? Like, what makes these individuals tick? What do they like to eat for breakfast? I want to know everything I possibly can know about this demographic and their psychographics before we even step out of the gate with our messaging towards them. This is identifying our heroes and villains. And so we know, even based on what we've identified who we are as a personality from a company standpoint, that there are some CTOs or CIOs that we might not necessarily even want to align with, perhaps. The alignment between companies when a B2B system is in place, when that alignment is healthy and appropriate, those two businesses shine with each other. But if you're just like, you know what, I'll take any CTO I can possibly find, they might not be necessarily in line with you. You thought that they were a hero, but they could actually be labeled as a villain. And I use these terms, vaguely and whatnot. I hope that you're not necessarily going out there and making true villains in the world, but it's how we identify exactly who it is that we need to delineate down into before we spend any money. How do we organically grow with them and understand how that ticks before we even turn on PPC for them, like you said?
Being able to do business online is crucial for survival, especially during times of social distancing. So how do you survive and thrive in the sea of digital noise? It's a lot like fishing. You need to know who your perfect customer is so that you can use the right kind of lure to attract them. We help you catch your perfect customer and retain them for future sales through highly converting websites, influencer mobile apps, getting you featured in the news and on TV. Hi, my name is Jerry Bowden, U.S. Army veteran and president of Revelio Software Solutions. Our goal is to help you rise above the competition, be seen as an expert authority in your industry, and embrace technology to stay competitive for long-term success. It's more affordable than you may think. So reach out to us at revelio.com and together we will make your business come alive.
Yeah, because if you're gonna spend money on advertising, you're gonna want to attract the right kind of fish. So you got to use the right lures to attract the right kind of fish. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really want to work with just anybody. You want to work with the perfect person, the
Abs-
perfect company. So you need to know as much as you can, like you said, and this is all part of your branding plan anyway. You should always go through a branding exercise whenever you're rolling out your company, but also on top of that, rolling out a campaign for a particular new product. You want to know part of your brand strategy and identity is knowing who you're trying to attract to these ads.
Absolutely.
This is like leading us into the next phase, which we're talking about. What is the motivation behind deciding whether or not running ads is a good fit?
It's a good question for anyone at any time. And I believe that it's based on what is your current budget. I wouldn't go into the hole when it comes to running ads unless you have a razor sharp strategic, holistic approach before you pull that trigger. It's every business is at different stages, and they're all particular. And if the budget doesn't necessarily coalesce properly with running PPC ads, there are other ventures for lead generation that could have a less significant, impactful financial situation upon your company. LinkedIn lead generation, cold email marketing generations. Perhaps you have like a really hot topic that needs to get out in front of a lot of people right now. I love cold emails for that reason for a season. And the cost for that is significantly less than some PPC campaigns. And so just knowing exactly what it is, those different buckets that you can tap into, perhaps it's social media marketing instead of PPCs on Google. Understanding all those metrics and being able to see them in a fleshed out diagram in front of you, understanding that these executables might rank higher than other ones, and having a head from a marketing department that understands that it's about value add. And you need to find someone that you can trust that's adding value before you start pulling triggers that have significant financial impact to your company.
Absolutely, 100%. So what motivates you matters. You know, it's again why you might want to just consult with a marketing company, right? To identify if you've got essentially all your ducks in a row. You don't want that cart in
Exactly.
front of the horse, because the horse is saying, well, what am I supposed to do? Just stand here? I mean, literally things will stand still. You'll lose money. We don't want that to happen for you. So
Absolutely. Motivation by passion can cost you greatly.
yeah, I know a lot of small businesses, fail upwards, right? But yeah, you learn from those also, tune in, learn. The Tech with Heart Foundation exists so that we can enlighten you as to what's working, and then we can empower you if it is something you can do for yourself. But then there's also, we can empower you by connecting you with people who are going to help you get
Absolutely.
where you're going. So yeah, ads is not ever the first go-to, but there's a state and a time in your business that you should consider it. And there's lots of different platforms, and each one of those. Can you speak to a little bit about like just how important it is to understand the different platforms, or at least find somebody who does have a lot of experience before they say, well, I've never worked on that platform, but I guess I can apply these principles to that platform and see if it works. What do you say about
Oh,
that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Here at Kingdom Marketing, we've actually designed our verticals and account managers to participate only in one segment. So we find people that are very proficient at, let's say, Google Ads, PPC, SEO, and then we have people that are proficient with social media marketing. They're two different things altogether, and understanding where your target is, where your audience is, the demographic and the psychographic, they might exist in one and not exist in the other altogether. And so understanding and having the right tool set and the right minds behind all of it is what we are very proficient at, because we want to make sure that we just don't have a jack of all trades individual handling your entire executable portfolio when it comes to marketing. Marketing is a very nuanced category. It's even sometimes hard to put a definition on because there's just so many different verticals within it. And so we understand the complexity of that, and we take it very serious. And part of our stewardship of it is to align and get the right people in Kingdom Marketing to make sure that we're delivering best in class service for our customers. Because so you can have someone that's excellent at SEO, but they don't know a thing about TikTok. That's common.
Oh, 100%. It just reminds me so much that as a business owner, even if you don't want to sit down and write out an actual business plan for the entity, the business itself, you should at least figure out what your go-to-market plan is if you're new, or even if you have a new offering, there needs to be a go-to-market plan. And then that plan should include some sort of a marketing strategy. And those strategies should have like little incremental like goals. Sometimes it is good to start small. You don't want to fail hugely. If you're going to fail, you want to fail a little and then say, oh, that didn't work. Let's make some adjustments, right? Micro steps. Yeah, micro steps. So please, don't think marketing is just showing up on social media or writing a blog. I mean, the world of marketing is so vast that it's great to have experts in each field, and that's what Kingdom Marketing is offering. So it may behoove you to go ahead and reach out to them. Is there anything else that you would like to share, William, in the regard of, is PPC a good fit for my business that you haven't already shared?
It's just reassess exactly what it is that you are trying to accomplish with PPC. I would just go back to the drawing board and ask yourself that question one more time before you pull the trigger. It's a great avenue for some. It really is. The ROI on some PPC campaigns just absolutely makes sense. Just make sure it makes sense for you as best that you can. I'm not saying that you can uncover every single answer in the world, but there are best practices to follow. And I just highly encourage everyone listening to find best practices. And if you don't have the talents to exercise those best practices, get with someone that does. If it's with us, awesome. But if it's with someone else, I just want to get people in the right place and to have the right information to grow their talents appropriately.
So when sometimes small business owners sit in this state of like, I don't know what to do. They kind of are in a state of overwhelm, so therefore they do nothing. What are the costs of doing nothing in regard to marketing or deciding to run a few ads?
Yeah, there's always a price for inaction, I believe. Not making a choice is the choice in and of itself. And the wheels of commerce and your industry and your business want to continue to turn. And they will either continue to turn in a upward direction or they'll continue to turn in a downward direction. Nevertheless, time keeps on ticking, and so does your business success. And so not doing anything, I believe, is the wrong call. If anything, start with just a simple conversation with us if you'd like. It's completely free. We just like relationships, honestly, here. Like I want to hear you out, and maybe you learn something in 30 minutes that was enough for you to make an action that is appropriate for you. Don't sit around doing inaction. You'll become irrelevant in a very fast moving time in our life that we have to continually refine, re-improve, reassess, and re-engage.
And you're not meant to do this alone. I can guarantee you're not meant to do this alone. So I would take him up on that. So let's go ahead and ask him. William, how do people reach out to you if they would like to have that free consultation with you?
Sure. You can go to our website. It's Try Kingdom, TRY Kingdom, trykingdom.com. And you can fill out our contact form. And I'll be the one that actually reaches out to you because I do want to start a relationship and see where that value add is for each and every one of our customers before we start delineating down into all the various verticals of marketing. So start with me and we'll see where you're at. We'll see what you've been doing. We'll see what has been working, what hasn't been working. Maybe we need to start from scratch. We would love to do a strategy with you, a branding strategy. It's just a fun process discovering who it is that you are from that level. And then what we deliver is an absolute beautiful roadmap, which we will consider the gospel for the next year, probably in a marketing initiative. And we'll start executing on things that have been well thought out, well vetted, and to make sure that you're in the right place. But trykingdom.com is the best way to get a hold of us.
Thank you for that. Thank you for your generous offer to meet with anybody that wants to just kind of, hear from a professional as to maybe what direction they should go. I know there's so much fear for small business owners. They don't want to get duped. They don't want to get taken. And that's why I love facilitating the Tech with Heart show, because it's all around making sure that we are bringing in people who genuinely know what they're talking about and also truly care about the success of the small business owners that we serve. So what is a thought or a phrase that you would like to leave impressed upon those that are tuning in right now, William?
I would like to leave the thought of Matthew 25, the parable of the talents, with everyone. It is simply the reason why kingdom marketing exists. The parable of the talents is a story of a 5, 2, and 1 talent individual. The 5 and 2 talent individual immediately went out and produced more talents. They got with people and they figured out what they needed to do with what the opportunities that were given to them. The 1 talent person hid it under a rock. because they were afraid. I encourage everyone to step out in faith. Do not be afraid. Make the tough decisions, and let's get activated. We're very excited to do that with you.
Wonderful. So yes, if you are a small business owner and you're looking for a really innovative but yet heart-centered group of entrepreneurs to grow alongside with, then you should go check us out, techwithheartnetwork.com. We are a nonprofit organization led by, me. I was called into this. So I'm faith-based, and I do what I do because I know it's my purpose to show up and kind of help people, guide people, just connect people with the ones that can take them where they need to go. So go to techwithheartnetwork.com and join our community. You can join for free. You can join as a gold member. And if you are a thought leader, somebody who wants to come onto our show or speak at our events and share your wisdom with our entrepreneurial audience, we need your expertise. Please go to techwithheartnetwork.com and contact us. Let us know that you would like to perhaps speak on our stages or get interviewed on our show. We would be happy to meet with you and discuss what topics you can share that will help our small business audience grow and stay relevant and competitive in a rapidly changing digital world where heads are spinning and small business owners are overwhelmed. Small business owners are the backbone of America. We need them to be successful. And the only way they can do that is if they're not shutting down and closing off, but like staying open to learning and to exploring and feeling safe to ask questions. So that's why we're here. So here's to your success.
Your story needs to be seen and heard, and your brand needs to be revealed. Revealio elevates purpose-driven businesses into the spotlight through video storytelling, augmented reality video marketing, and professional website design. Get discovered online or in the news. Be featured in national magazines or host your own TV, podcast, or live radio show. Together, we make your brand come alive. All it takes is Revealio. Visit Revealio.com to get started today. Minority and service disabled veteran owned.